Hello, beautiful Starlight Tribe, and welcome to Magic Month of October. I can't believe we've got to October already. Welcome to Magic Month, and please, if you're listening live, do use the chat box to let me know that you can hear and see and that the technology is working. We are in Mercury retrograde, so it is important to confirm that you can hear and see. And if you haven't met me, my name is Karila, and I am from the Starlight Temple. And Starlight is a company that does all sorts of courses and ceremonies and land work, travel journeys that are about using channeled and spiritual tools to become more empowered, to live more of your truth, to live more of your light, to live the most fulfilled and aligned life that you can. And Magic Month is a monthly show, which is basically an energy and astrological forecast for the month ahead. And it's here so that you can use the information from the map of the skies and the channeled guidance that comes with it to align, to use the information for the best times to heal, the best times to manifest, the best times to make magic in your month. I am very, very into adding magic to life at the moment. I feel like the only way now is magic. So Magic Month gives you guidance on how you can add magic to your life. And yeah, I am very, very grateful for Magic Month. It really helps me with my path and my personal life to understand what is happening and why it's happening and what I'm going through and how I can, just live my best life. And so I am always very, very grateful for Magic Month. And October is epic. So October is a very, very, very special and important month. If you know Magic Month, then I'm just letting you know that this particular forecast is going to be slightly shorter than normal. Some of you will know that I'm back from a huge amount of land work in Ibiza. That was the completion of a 7-year project, and I only got back yesterday. And I am integrating and feeling like I need to pace myself this evening, but I didn't want to move the forecast because October is so important and we need to get the information out and about. And so I'm only going to do short meditations at the beginning and the end, and mainly do the forecast this evening. And so let's begin with the meditation. And closing your eyes. And as you close your eyes, just notice how your sense of hearing is heightened. Just allow yourself to hear the sounds and the silence in the room you're in. And allow both the sounds and the silence to comfort you. As you feel the muscles around your eyes relaxing. And you breathe in love. And you breathe out gratitude. And you breathe in love. And you breathe out gratitude. Just allowing your breath to bring you closer to those sounds, to bring you into greater presence with those sounds. As you feel your aura stretching into those sounds in all directions. Into the now in all directions. And as you open your heart to the light that shines through all of the suns and the moons in the Milky Way, light of the great central sun, and you feel this light pouring down into your expanded aura. And as this light pours down into your expanded aura, notice what happens to your experience of those sounds of now. As you feel this light pouring down through and around you, down into the iron core crystal, the heart center of Gaia. And feel it bouncing off the iron core, back up through you, into the heart of Source. And feel yourself held in this two-way flow. Of love and light. Just allowing its double current to harmonize, to open, to soothe and to heal you. So you open your heart to Mother Earth, feeling a grounding cord of energy from your belly, going down to all the different layers of the earth, down into the heart center of the Great Mother. And as you arrive in the heart center of the Great Mother, as you anchor more deeply into that crystalline heart, allow yourself to receive the hope that the heart of Mother Earth is holding in this time of great change. The faith that the heart of Mother Earth is receiving in this time of great change. And the energy that the heart of Mother Earth is holding in this time of great change. Allowing your hope, allowing your faith, and allowing your energy levels to be recharged. And as they are recharged, notice that you are becoming more peaceful, experiencing this charging happening on the in-breath, and the out-breath being the flow of the peace. That happens as you recharge. As you feel your aura being sealed from top to bottom in white and golden light. And that only love and light can enter into your energy. As the rainbow fire wraps around your aura, so that any energy released from any direction can be transmuted into love and light and sent wherever it is in the highest good for it to go. And relax. As you open your heart to this webinar, trusting that it is exactly where you are meant to be, and that you will receive all you are meant to receive and release all you are meant to release. And breathing in love and breathing out gratitude. breathing in love and breathing out gratitude. And when you are ready, opening your hearts and coming into the room and just noticing how you're feeling. My guides are saying that this charging and bringing into the flow of peace that is happening through our grounding cords will continue for the duration of this webinar. And there's nothing you need to do. It will just happen because you're here, because you've connected. And I would love to hear how any of you are feeling after that. It feels like quite a useful practice for what is going to be a storm of a month. Astrologically, October is a firework display. October is really powerful. I think that is the word for October. It is powerful, and it's about us coming into our power. It might be best described as the perfect storm. It's full of change energy, October. There's huge cosmic shifts. You know, we start October where we are now with 6 planets in retrograde, and by the end of October there's only 2 planets in retrograde. And so, you know, this is a kind of flip over month. It's like how we are and where we are at in our lives now is not going to be where we're at by the end of October on a personal and a collective level, especially if you use you know, the alignments and the cosmic map and the astrological map and the guidance that resonates with you. Of course, don't use anything that doesn't resonate with you. There's a really, really, I like what you say, Sarah, about grounded before the storm. That's what I feel like, you know. September was very much a balancing point. It was very much a sense of grounding before the storm. And October just brings this incredible power of feminine storm energy, I think is the best way to put it. And I was tuning in about how the feminine, I hadn't looked at the forecast yet, but a few days ago I was tuning in to how brilliant the feminine is and nature is at releasing a build-up of energy, because it's so cyclical, and it's you know, when there is a build-up of energy, what the feminine is fabulous at doing is that kind of storm or that release or that let it out. And it's funny because I was tuning into that just in time for this forecast and this magic month. And so it really does feel like Mother Earth, the cosmos, the goddesses are going to be doing their releasing power in October within us, within our own energy, within our own emotional body, on a collective level, and within nature. There's a really, really, really strong Mars influence in October, and Mars is the warrior energy. And this energy, I feel, you know, in a way, the warrior energy or the warrior-S energy, these energies are good to harness for this month. It's like the warrior can stand within the storm, you know, and so it's a good archetype to call forth within you, to bring forth within you this month. And it's time to be warriors of truth and warriors of freedom and warriors of the heart. When I tuned into Magic Month, I was like, oh, October feels like the energy of an open wound in many ways. You know, that kind of like energy when something's hot and sore and expressive and fiery, but also healing because of all of those things. And that's what I feel when I tune in to the collective in October. Is it's like this, yeah, hot, fiery, like our wounds are open, but they're expressing because they're healing. Does that make sense? And that's why I feel that this beginning of October is so important for revisiting patterns. You know, all of these planets in retrograde, it's a time to kind of really revisit, especially from everything that we were working on from about April, May time. We're going to revisit the patterns and the dynamics and the things we've been working through. And this time they might come up a bit like the wounds they once were, but this time they're coming up as healed wounds, or wounds that are healing, and wounds that are expressing, and wounds that have boundaries. Boundaries are a big theme in an energy that in a month that's got so much storm energy. Grounding is absolutely essential because of that Mars energy, and because there's a lot of fire energy. You know, it's really important that you don't kind of overignite or burn out. It's like grounding is really, really important. And if you ground, you're going to be grounding your power and your dreams into this soil that is just so fertile because of this storm energy. You know, if you think of a like nature storm, it's like flooding the soils with water. It's making them fertile. And so this is a really, really powerful month to manifest. It's a month of navigation in a way. It's a month of really connecting to who you could be and navigating towards that with that kind of ability that the warrior has, just to kind of charge, you know. And so there's power this month. There's a lot of power this month, especially after we get through the first week. I invite you to use this week, this first week, to up until the new moon, when we still got this really strong Libra energy and balance energy from September, just to really integrate, just to really, really, really give yourself space and time to acknowledge how you've changed, especially since that April, May time earlier in 21. And yeah, get clear on where you're going, get aligned with where you're going and who you are without your patterns, because this storm energy will and can clear them if you choose. And so, and you know, Mars, like I said, it's really such a fiery month. Mars is traveling with the sun most of the month, and so Mars is, you know, the sun is about truth. And so our warrior energy needs to come into our truth. Our warrior energy needs to come into becoming a guardian of our truth and really letting our truth and our goodness and our values shine out into the world. And that's what all of these patterns that are being, like I said, in that storm power of release being cleared, it's so we can shine more of our truth. You know, our patterns are what is not true about us. There are our stories. And so, yeah, it's powerful. It's a portal, October. It's a portal for great change. And then the first big event of October is on the 6th. It's the new moon, and also Pluto, our first retrograding planet. Pluto goes direct, and Pluto's been in retrograde since April. And Pluto, so some of you will have heard me say this in Magic Month many times, but to me, the planets rule our currents of consciousness. And so Pluto is the ruler of the currents of consciousness that are about our shadow and our death and our rebirth and our kind of true transformation. And so since April, we've been on this inner death and rebirth journey with Pluto, and in a way, a lot of those patterns that are coming up in the start of the week, they are connected to Pluto coming out of retrograde. They're connected to that journey, that healing journey, that deep shadow work journey you've been on, completing. And you know, it's always powerful when you get a planet that is about death and rebirth meeting with a new moon that is about new beginnings. I feel like we'll already start to feel that change, you know, and when I tune into it and what the kind of more detailed astrology is saying about this new moon is you know, this is radical change. This is that release of hot energy, that moment when you go, no more, enough, you know, when you actually have a breakthrough and you're like, enough, I am done, no more. And so there's a real energy of kind of rebelling against what was, rebelling against who you were in a way, in order to begin again as who you can be, or as who you truly are. It's a very powerful moon to do healing. It's a very, very powerful moon to really connect to what your values are, to what your essence is, to who you are without all of the noise of your patterns. My favorite thing at the moment, because it's really helping me, is I just keep going, what if I just allow myself to be curious? So sometimes change can really, really scare us. And in a way, the thing that keeps helping me invite more change into my life is this power of curiosity. It's like, well, who would I be without this? Or who would I be if I didn't believe this? And there's this sudden kind of opening and invitation for that part of my higher self, or that part of my unscarred self to come forward. And so I really invite you to open up to who you would be without these patterns. You know, take your time into this new moon. It's a powerful portal. It's also got some astrological connections to the divine order. And so it's a really, really powerful time to call upon the laws, and not the human laws that are in quite a lot of chaos right now, but like the laws of the cosmos, the laws of nature. It's like a time to reconnect to, you know, those laws that are just the laws of life, that are the birthrights of life, and to call upon them and to ask for all things about you that are not those laws to just be shed, to be released this month. It's a moon that will be really empowered if you can stay in balance. And so, you know, there's 4 cosmic bodies in Libra. There's the sun, the moon, the Mars, Mercury. Libra is the medicine. And that's why it's like, ground. If you're feeling ungrounded, ground. If you're feeling disconnected from source, reconnect at source. Find the balance, because the balance is where you're going to be able to embody the warrior. and also connect to the sacred oath. Some of you might have heard of the sacred oath, but the sacred oath is kind of the commitment that you make, your soul makes to Mother Earth, that you will live your truth as fully as possible. And in terms of the journey that we're collectively on in 2021, the most simple ceremony you can do this new moon is simply to say, okay, I choose to live my truth as fully as possible. And just, you'll notice, like, even as I'm speaking about it, I can feel this like poo poo things kind of going off. It's like things that are not your truth can get cleared this month. So it's really good to connect to, like, but what's my truth, you know? And even if you don't know what it is, call it in. Make the commitment to live your truth as fully as possible, and do so from a place that is grounded, especially if you're getting lots of kind of emotions come up in the gateway to what is, like I said, a stormy October. And actually from the new moon we go into this kind of series of astrological events where it's like steps forward, move, go. So on the 7th we have the Sun conjunct with Mars, and like I said, the Sun and Mars are a really big theme for October. This feels like the month where the guardians start to express themselves in all sorts of directions, I'm sure, and it's time to kind of be warriors of the heart. And yeah, there feels like there's this sense of kind of coming into greater and more sacred abandon with our truth, partly because of this Sun and Mars energy. And this is a moment again where I feel like you'll have more energy. You'll be out of that integration process in the first week of September, and it's like the integration arrives and we move into action. Sorry, that integration process was like the whole of September. It was kind of integrating the first 8 months. And so the whole of September, first week of October, I feel like you'll finally be out of that and kind of like, okay, moving into action, more clear on what you need to do or on what you want. And there's this beautiful movement at the same time of Venus going into Sagittarius. And if you think of Sagittarius, it's all about moving forward. Venus is all about the heart. This is about us becoming warriors of the rainbow, warriors of the heart. I know many of you will be understanding what this means collectively, but it's also about you doing it in your personal lives. And so Mars rules our general energy. And when Mars is kind of supercharged by the Sun, we have a load of energy, but we have to be careful not to be manic, not to be kind of burning out, not to be going too quickly. And that is why this meditation that we started with is so useful, because it's like, get some of your energy from the cool, calm earth and don't just get completely charged up, because that's only going to make take the storm out of the heart. And we want the storm to stay in the heart. And so, you know, the cosmic map is saying it all. It's saying a storm, you're about to enter an amazing storm of rebirth and transition and healing, but stay in your heart, stay balanced. And so that's another really powerful day to do healing. It's a really, really powerful day to be tuning into, yeah, what you want moving forward, and in a way opening up to how you're going to get it. You know, it's like one of the things I keep getting guidance for this month is like open like you have never opened before. Open out of the old and into the new. And then on the 8th we have Ceres go into retrograde, and I feel like this retrograde is really important because she she's the goddess of agriculture and nourishment and female life force. And why it's so important, and I don't want to kind of put fear into anyone, because this isn't about fear, but the next day there's a really important event happening, which is Eris and Pluto have their final square with each other, and that marks the end of an Eris and Pluto journey that they have been on since January 2020. And there is an astrological insight or perception that isn't mine. I read about it in an amazing article that Corona, has really been very much influenced by these 5 Eris and Pluto squares, and the last one is on the 9th of October. And actually, in the article, all of the times that there was really a significant moment in the kind of change in the collective and that journey with Corona. And so why I'm saying it's important in terms of this retrograde is because I've had this idea or belief that possibly Corona is the first of the 4 horsemen that was talked about in the Bible. And the Bible tends to be fairly dramatic. No offense to people who love the Bible, but it certainly has this kind of like, real sense of drama within it, especially the book of Revelations and all of that kind of thing. And actually, the plague, the horseman of the plague, if it was Corona, wasn't as bad as kind of I envisioned when I first heard about the 4 horsemen. But what I do feel is that each, that kind of prophecy of the 4 horsemen is more like 4 collective journeys, or 4 cycles of change, or 4 cycles of challenge that give us an immense amount of growth and evolution. And I feel as this one is coming to an end, if the astrology about Eris and Pluto is right, if this one is coming to some kind of completion, we are already starting to see the next horseman, which I believe, based on what I'm seeing, is famine or lack, so fuel crisis, things like that. And I had this amazing download about the fuel crisis that is happening in the UK that was just like, the human race is about to learn that food doesn't come from shelves and power doesn't come from pumps. And a bit like the journey that we've shared since 2020, January 2020, has challenged and blessed all of us in immense ways. I have a feeling that if these gateways that were once in the Bible called the 4 horsemen, that as ascension processes, each of them is going to challenge and bless us in many ways. And I think what's really important is this retrograde kind of marks the beginning of that. And why it's so important to kind of honor and know about this is because in that same download that I had about the food not coming from shelves, is I was shown that really all we need to do, I was told that in times of crisis, humans are humbled, and when they're humbled, their hearts are faced towards the earth. And when your heart is faced towards the earth, Mother Earth provides you with everything. You know, Mother Earth provides you with everything you need. And so the 8th is a really powerful day to face your heart towards the earth and to, you know, say, show me the way. Face your heart towards Mother Earth and say, okay, show me the way. Provide for me, help me. What do you want me to do? How can I serve? And I feel like connecting to the earth around the 8th, 9th, possibly even just doing it every day of October is really going to help with the third dimensional flows in your life, and also with the energetic storm process that we're in. And so that's the 8th. And then on the 9th is just epic. Like the 9th is like electric, magnetic, lightning, storm, firestorm, amazing. So that's why I'm saying, like, start with your heart open towards the earth the day before, because like I said, the final Eris and Pluto square is on the 9th. And it really feels like an important day to open up to what we have learnt. Eris is the goddess of chaos. And she's been squaring with the planet of death and rebirth and transformation since January 2020. What has that alignment given you? What has it taught you? How has the chaos served? Can you digest it now? Because in the end, we always end with digestion. So what do we need to digest? It feels like a really, really important thing around the 9th. And I invite you again to be in ceremony. Like, this day is a really important day to be in some kind of ceremony, to be in some kind of process where you can integrate, whether you're holding ceremony or space for yourself, or you're called to like a cacao ceremony or a sound bath or whatever it is. At the same time, on the 9th, there is an inferior conjunction between the Sun and Mercury. And so it feels like, and that's all about listening. It's about listening to our inner truth. It's about opening up to receive messages from our path. It feels like the 9th is just this powerful portal for the new to download. It's like everything about October is like death and rebirth, end and begin, in that kind of messy way that birth does things. And so really, really powerful time to listen, to ask for messages, connect to your guides, open up to the universe, say, what do I need to know? Open up to your higher self. So, how can I make everything I have just experienced since 2020 really become the greatest version of itself? How can I turn it into wisdom? How can I live it as ascension? These kind of big, bold questions, and then actually giving the time to listen to the answers. Very, very, very powerful thing to do on the 9th. And on top of that, the 9th is also the Venus gate. And those of you that know Magic Month will know that, like, I have been obsessed with the Venus gates. I had not heard of the Venus gate. The Venus gates are when the moon and Venus appear next to each other in the sky. And they're like these really powerful moments when our emotional body that is ruled by the moon and our sexual life force body that is ruled by Venus come into oneness. And this year, my guides have been all about the Venus gates. They guided me to do these live workshops on the Venus gates that, honestly, each of the workshops have been just completely life-changing. Like the workshops and what's come through, it's like they've led my whole month. So the last workshop was about abandon and the throat chakra, and literally my entire month has been an exploration about truth, and so much has awakened around my understanding of truth. And so, like, it's like the Venus gates, I'm saying this because it's like the Venus gates, they're like potent this year. It's like they're setting the tone for the next moon cycle, more than the new moon and more than the full moon, in my opinion, as somebody that lives very by moons. The night of the Venus gate is where the tides turn, where things change, at the moment. And that's partly because, and some of you will have heard me say this, but we're moving from being blueprint beings, which means that our hearts and our emotional bodies are like at the center of how we navigate life, and we're becoming gold print beings, which means that our sexual energy, not just as our kind of sexual energy with two other people, but our sexual energy, as in our life force and our spirit, is becoming more of the center, more of the creational center and the navigation center. And so on the Venus gates, because there is that connection between these two centers, it's just this amazing kind of gateway. They're called Venus gates. Is this amazing gateway into more of who we are becoming. And so all of that is happening on the 9th. Like all of it is happening on the 9th. It's the Venus gate of the third eye. And really, I feel like that is about, you know, it is time to see your sovereign truth. Corona has been all about, you know, Corona means crown. It is time to see your sovereign truth. It is time to let your truth and your connection be the way. It is time to connect in order to know the way. The Mercury Sun moment is a really important moment in the retrograde cycle. So it's time for your, you know, the Sun is all about illumination. Mercury is all about communication. It is time for your inner communication to be seen and to see itself in the world. And so the 9th is just, yeah, total ascension moment, total moment of like, yeah, I'm going to see a sovereign truth in this world. I'm going to see my truth in this world. I'm going to let my truth lead the way, because I'm going to awaken. You know, the third eye is awakening. What are we awakening out of since January 2020? And all of this is so relevant because, you know, November's the next eclipse season. So like October's really like winding everything up in a very Mars, Eris, storm. You know, Eris is the sister of Mars. So it's like very kind of like, right, so everything's wrapping up and winding up and opening up. And so it's got this real huge amounts of energy. I mean, the creative potential when I tune into October is like, just manifest as much as you can, because there is just this like womb spiraling feminine fertile energy within all of this storm energy. And be careful with what you're manifesting. You know, don't manifest out of the ego, manifest out of the deep self, out of the true self, out of integrity, out of the inner sense. And you're going to do that by grounding in, by connecting in. And so it's epic. And then on the 10th of October, Saturn goes direct. And Saturn is the planet that rules law, order, and karma. And, you know, when any planet's in retrograde, those things are kind of flipped inside out. So it's yeah, about our inner rather than our outer world. And so Saturn moving forward is about kind of taking command of the laws and our integrity. And when I say laws, I mean LORES, the laws of the cosmos, the laws of life. It's again, when Saturn goes direct, it's actually easier to navigate things. We're less kind of in turmoil in our own sense of integrity, in our inner laws, and we're more clear on what we want and who we are, and we're in that warrior energy. And this warrior energy and this sun energy is really supporting us to spark up with that and know that again, collectively we're at the end of this massive karmic completion cycle, and I really feel like we're going to start to see that completion on the collective level. It's amazing because it's happening on the 1010, and you know, numerology in 1010 is like awaken. It's like new beginnings. 1010, it's got the one energy and the zero energy, so like the 0 point energy, and the one is, you know, about standing in your truth, standing in your sovereignty. And then that open-ended everything and nothing beginningness, it's sovereignty and oneness, which is like creation. And so it's got this really powerful and again kind of feminine, awakened, empowered, tantric energy to it. And it's like, from what I know of the karmic collective journey that's completing, it's all to do with, you know, our relationship with our sovereignty, our relationship with our truth. And that's what this month is all about. It's like, stand for your truth. Stand for your truth. Become a guardian of the values of your heart. And I think we're going to see that a lot on the collective level as well. And so again, this is, I mean, in a way, every month inviting in the sacred oath is probably a good thing. I will let my guides channel a bit more about that. But every day this month, if you want a daily ritual, I would say connect to your truth, open up to your truth, and open and become curious. Become curious. Who am I if I lived my truth? Because a lot of the laws that I'm talking about, a lot of the laws of the cosmos, you know, the real laws, in a way, the laws that are beyond human chaos, the laws that are like, you have a birthright to live abundantly, you have a birthright to be yourself, these kind of big sweeping laws. You have to live by all of them if you want to embody them for your creational life. If you want to live the life that your soul wants to live, then you have to live by the laws of the soul. And really the most important law of the soul is to live your truth as fully as possible. And so it's really another good day to kind of reaffirm, I choose to live my full truth. And yeah, I will let my guides speak a bit more about it at the end of this webinar. But yeah, from that 10th, I feel like we're going to, you know, really powerful day to manifest, really powerful day to open up in curiosity. Okay, who am I if I didn't have this anger pattern? Or who am I if I didn't have this anxiety? And if I let that person manifest? Who am I if I believe in my goodness? And as I open up in curiosity to that person, and I manifest from that person, what kind of awakening or new beginning starts? And so, really powerful time to manifest. Any of these days would be a really powerful time to offer, because like I said, there's this big purgy feminine energy around. So high ceremony is good in terms of manifestation. So if you want to make offerings, even sprinkling seeds, you know, doing kind of theatrical manifestation would suit the energies this month. Witchy manifestation, candle work, all of that kind of thing. And then on the 17th of October, so with Saturn going direct, I feel like you're going to feel like the currents increasing, the voltage increasing, things being picked up, moving faster, quicker, opportunities happening. And then, of course, on the 17th of October, Jupiter goes direct. And Jupiter is abundance and path. And while Jupiter's in retrograde, there's this kind of inner inquiry that happens. So it's really about the alignment of your path. It's like, do I, you know, am I doing what's right for me? Is this resonating? It's all inside, inside, inside. And when Jupiter goes direct, the fruits of that inquiry begin to blossom, begin to open, the doors, the opportunities, everything is much more flowful, the abundance is easier, confidence, it comes more easily with Jupiter direct. And so can you see that, like, even as it's funny, I can really feel the energies of this month as I'm speaking. It's like, as I'm talking, I can feel this like build up of how the energy in the month is changing. And it's almost like as we get to the 17th and Jupiter going direct, it's like the warriors have got on their horses, you know, and it's like, here we go. Nothing is, you know, they're not carrying anything that can stop them anymore. This is October. It is amazing if you meet it from a place of power, if you meet it from a place of capability, if you let the winds of change carry you, and if you are willing to change. And so Jupiter going direct, another amazing time to manifest, also an amazing time to start new projects and, you know, bring it into form. That is what my guides are saying. It's like, okay, in retrograde time, we have the luxury of really fermenting our ideas, really brewing our ideas. And it's like, now take them out of idea, bring them into action, do it. Especially when there's this like Mars and Aries and Sun energies helping you like go, 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 go. It's such a good time to be like, right, I'm going to launch that website, or I'm going to start this project, and everything starts with a step. So just start with the first step on the 17th of October. And within that, at the same time, you know, there's a real blessing for the Jupiter direct, because from about the 15th, and then it kind of gets stronger on the 17th to the 19th, is the Arcturus gateway. And this is when the sun aligns with Arcturus. And so literally you receive like the energies and the light and the information from Arcturus. And Arcturus is like one of the, you know, it's one of the star nation stars. It's considered the lucky star. It carries the energy of prosperity, but also determination. It's like got that warrior energy in it too, of like, you will, those who work shall receive, those who commit shall receive. I feel like in a way a lot of what the storm energies are going to clear in October is the half in half out energy. It's like the cosmos and the energies around us in October like don't have patience for that. Does that make sense? They're like, either you commit or you don't. And so but those who commit are going to be blessed. And I really feel like the Jupiter direct thing happening in the Arcturus gateway is like, commit to your path, commit to your service, commit to your light legacy, to commit to what you believe in. Make that commitment and open up and receive, because you know, this new path cycle with Jupiter, this new growth cycle with Jupiter is really blessed. It's a really powerful time to practice receiving, to practice, you know, asking and opening up and receiving in what you need. And so that's a very, very beautiful and magical, amazing kind of time, the middle of the month. And then right after, so within the, as well as Jupiter going direct, within the Arcturus gateway, Mercury also goes direct. So the planet of communication also goes direct. Communication, travel, technology, but communication, I would say, is the biggest thing based on kind of the big picture of what is going on throughout the year astrologically. And you know, communication is about connection. And so this is a really, really powerful time to connect to Mother Earth, to connect to your guides, to connect more to yourself, and to, with Mercury going direct, bring all of that inner sense out into the world. This feels like a kind of sparkling, beautiful, amazing gateway where it's like, actually, I am going to manifest what I want, and I'm going to trust what I want in its goodness, and I'm going to communicate that with grace and trust that that communication is going to be blessed and supported. And so that's an amazing time. You know, this month is an amazing time for boundaries in general. Boundaries are grace. You know, boundaries in their highest form, there are grace. And so it's an amazing time to be, especially in these few days, when you need to say something that's maybe difficult. This is the time to do it. If it's like that thing that's been niggling inside you about something you want that you don't feel like you can say or express, this is the right time to do it, especially if it's about asking for a pay rise, something connected to Jupiter, asking to leave your job and start a new thing, asking whatever it is that you need to ask. It's like, ask for your path. If you don't need to speak to anybody human, then speak to the universe, because it's magic time. And also it's a really powerful time to open up for connection. And then on the 20th, the full moon. So after all of that magic, we go into the full moon in Aries. Aries is the start of the astrological cycle. It's all about new beginnings. It's a blood moon. So again, there's that feminine theme. Really powerful time to make an offering, do an offering manifestation, do a candle prayer, these kind of feminine ways of doing ceremony and manifestation. And the full moon has this, it's going to be an intense moon. Everything in October is going to be intense. It's like, even as I'm speaking about this month, it's like there's energy just coming, and so it's going to be intense. So enjoy the first few days of this month, because once it gets going, it's going to keep on going. There's a T-square between the Sun, Mars, and the Moon, and so there's a T-square between the Sun, Mars, the Moon, and Pluto. And so Pluto is death and rebirth. The Moon is emotion. The Sun is truth. And And Mars is the warrior energy, which is the one that is prepared to die. That's the warrior energy through and through. It's the one that will die for what is right. And so there is this kind of amazing opportunity for kind of spiritual death and rebirth, for not taking those patterns you're observing on the start of the month beyond this point. To call in rebirth into your life, to call in the courage to change, to be the change, to make the change, to command the change. And you're really supported by the currents of your consciousness and the map of the sky and the energies of this month, if you do. And it's very, very fire, you know, like Aries is fire. So fire, what's great about all of this fire energy with the sun and Aries is it's like fire transforms things like that, you know, like fire just it doesn't really do patience, it does transformation. And so the things that you are really ready to let go of, they will go, and the change will be quick if you call it in, if you own it, if you align it, if you meet fire with fire. It's like your dreams need to be as strong as the fires of this storm, and meet with equal force. That's one of the things that we're being taught at this time, is to meet with equal force. And so the fire of our dreams must meet the fires of great change with equal force. And so really connecting to that fire, to that dream desire, and manifesting from there, from that belly place, really powerful to do on the full moon. And then 22nd, 23rd, Scorpio season begins. And so, you know, in a way, this feels like the month of integration, new intention, and into rebirth. And so the end of the month is when that birth actually begins. Scorpio is the point of rebirth in the zodiac cycle. And it's when the skin, you know, it's when the intention or what's been ignited actually begins to shed skin. So that's what I mean, it happens quickly. If you think of the 20th, and then 2 days later we're into Scorpio season. And that rebirth journey, what I feel is like what you intend, it's going to be your journey for the next eclipse season. It's going to be your journey for the next 6 months. And so have glorious intentions, have amazing intentions. And yeah, it feels softer at the end of the month. It feels more feminine in a way, more feminine, not in her stormy release energy, but in her gentler energy. So the end of the month feels like the right time to go into kind of healing processes and being held, and deep release processes. Right at the end of the month we have Samhain, which, you know, is the pagan New Year. It's the Halloween festival, the time when the veils are the thinnest. So October is always an amazing time for strengthening your connection and your third eye and your inner vision. But it's also the month where this Samhain is special, because Venus, goddess of love, and Juno, the asteroid and goddess of marriage, come into alignment. So it's an amazing time to you know, manifest love in your life, to call in your soulmates, and to open up to greater love, you know, like the veils of love are thin. So can we call in a love beyond, can we become curious about loves that could be, not just in the romantic sense, but in our ability to love each other and the earth. And I feel like, you know, Venus and Juno, they're both very much about being true to yourself and loving yourself. And Juno, marriage is about commitment. In that Samhain energy, it's about forgiveness. So then it feels like you're out of the storm, and it's like, okay, what do I need to forgive now, and to transcend through forgiveness. The root word of forgive is to marry. And so, and you know, to marry is to make whole. So it's like all of those challenges, maybe we can just become whole with and come into oneness with. And so it's beautiful. It's going to be such a sacred Samhain. And it's an amazing opportunity to do heart work. I would recommend, you know, cacao ceremonies or kirtan, all these heart-based things on Samhain, just because of that influence of these two goddesses of love. And it feels like both the medicine and the destination, in a way, is like, make your commitment. Make your commitment to your values this month. Make your commitment to what you want. Make your, you know, marry yourself to the earth, to your path, to you, what you love. And it's going to withstand the storm, you know. Keep remaking those vows that your soul made, and live your truth as fully as possible. Because then it will end in love. And that's what I feel like the cosmic map is saying. This is the way to navigate the storm. I feel like that's why it's saying, like, at the end of the storm is love. And so the way to get to the end is to connect to it. And so that's also the way through, if that makes sense. And so it really is an epic month. And I, you know, I feel like, I've said this so many times in this podcast, but I feel like the energies have just been speaking through me. And I feel like, you know, this particular Magic Month forecast, you've just been taken on the journey. And so notice how you feel at the end. Notice how you feel with all of that love. Amazing that 1010, sorry, I've missed all of your comments, but amazing that 1010 is your daughter's birthday, and amazing you're holding a grandmother gathering on the 9th. Go. Yes, there probably will be a fire ceremony. Like I said, I've just got back from Ibiza and I haven't tuned in, but there will be stuff happening, I'm sure, through October. So at the moment, Starlight is just very, very present. My guides are doing things very last minute, just because that's how they've decided it's going to be at the moment. And so this time is all about realignment. And so things are literally coming through a few days before, and they're like, fire ceremony tomorrow. And so the best thing to do is to join our mailing list. I think you're on it already, Joy, but like, that's you will know as soon as I know, but potentially there will be a fire ceremony or something else. I do have 2 things to tell you all about. The first one is on the 9th, the Venus Gate workshop that, like I said, I cannot tell you how amazing each one of these workshops has been. They're not like anything I have ever held before. So the Venus Gates are literally like the guides do these transmissions where they like download new consciousness into people, and all of us, including me, and we all kind of end up quite stoned and like not really sure what's going on. And then over the month, it's like everything that was downloaded just begins to manifest. They're workshops that are about using your sexual energy to manifest, which is like the golden print way, the Aquarian way of creating, and they're just so precious. And like I said, I really feel like the Venus Gates are so important. This one is so important because of everything else that's happening. And so it's the Venus Gate. It's actually not the Venus Gate of communication. It's the Venus Gate of perception. And it's the gate of the third eye. And it's all about, so the guides always pick a theme. And this week's theme is fantasy. And so it's about fantasy, not in the way that we perceive fantasy, but fantasy as a creational, magical power within your third eye, and how you can use it to manifest and create. And so I highly recommend them. If you can't make them live, the recordings are available, but I bow to them. I just do. They're amazing. What the guides are doing in them is amazing. And so that is the Venus Gate. You can click the link and find out more. And then we also have at the end of the year, and actually I can't believe it, but it's starting on the 19th, which is that Arcturus Gate way. The guides are so good at timing in this course. So we have the course in channeling and connection. Channeling, this course is on every year, and it is Starlight's most magical time of the year, and I love it because literally channeling is at the heart of my life, and it's like coming home. And I love more than anything showing people how to activate and remember their gifts of connection, and open up as channels, because channeling adds magic to your life. That's what it does. Your life is so lived in wonder when you live with channeling part of it. Like you're just like like you just have so much fun, and you realize how supported you are and how connected you are, and your guides help you with everything all the time, and they help you with your paths. And I honestly don't know how I would have got through, you know, the Aries Pluto 2020 to now journey without channeling. And in these times of great change, there is nothing I would want more than the gift of channeling, because it helps you navigate, and it helps you find your truth, and it helps you find out what's right for you. And it is just, in my opinion, the best thing anybody can invest in, because it doesn't matter what your path is, your guides are there to help you with your path. And you know, channeling isn't just about your guides. If you can talk to Mother Earth, then you will always have the most abundant, loving, amazing mother. If you can talk to the trees, then you will always have the oldest and wisest friends. If you can talk to your body, then you will always have more insight into how it can be healthy and how to navigate any challenges. If you can talk to your higher self and your soul, like my list just goes on. It's just the most amazing thing. And so, and obviously, if you work in the spiritual field, then channeling is an amazing thing for anybody holding ceremonies, anybody that is doing healing work, anybody, you know, it's an amazing, amazing investment in that sense, if that is the path that calls you. But even if it's not, it's just, like I said, it adds magic, and magic is honestly, in my opinion, the best ingredients. I've just come back from the most magical time in Ibiza that, you know, all of it is because of the guides, and a little bit because of, you know, me, and a lot because of amazing people. But the magic bit of it is because of the guides. You know, my guides, the work in Ibiza was a 7-year project that at the, you know, at the very first channeling about it, they were like, the project is going to end right in the center of an island. There's going to be a stone circle that goes into the earth. The land where we ended, which was private land that the amazing Inara found, it had a kiva. It had a stone circle that buried in the earth, and it was exactly in the center of the island. I can't tell you how amazing that is when 7 years later guidance comes true, and you're like, there's so much magic. We're safe. It's okay. I would like to correct myself though, because I feel like I said it was all the guides, and that isn't true, because the other amazing bit of magic that comes is community. And I am so blessed and so lucky to have just the most amazing, amazing tribe from Kasha, where me and them traveled to Ibiza and started wandering around finding portals together, to the amazing, amazing, amazing tribes and people that have joined in ceremony over the years. So there is as much importance in humanity as there is in guides, and that's very important to say. But the combination of humans in ceremony and guides is just the best thing in the world, in my opinion. It's so magic. Life is so fun. It's so good. And so I really, really, really invite any of you that are called to join us for the course in channeling and connection. It's also amazing because you get held in this beautiful cocoon, and you get so much one-to-one support. And if you follow the process, you will come out with so many channeling gifts activated. So that's the course in channeling and connection. I'm going to put the Venus Gateway up. You can click either of these links and they will open up in other tabs. And also tomorrow night, if you're interested in channeling, I've got a free webinar called Awakening Ajna. Ajna is the third eye. It's about third eye channeling. So you can use the link on the website as well. Sign up for our newsletter and you'll get the link about it, or go to the main page and you'll find it. Our card for the month is perfect. It's Shield Maiden. It's the warrioress. Make plans and focus. That is what October, that is the way to be within the storm. I'm going to read. Have a plan or strategy in place before moving forward. Take some time to access your next steps, what your next steps will be. All great warriors have plans. You are a sensitive being, and if you're not prepared for the task you are taking on, you could end up feeling exposed and helpless. the ancestor guidance that is coming to you now as a reminder. You have a warrior's heart, and that you have it within you to be more prepared and focused than you have been recently. So have strategy and in place, and then let your guides support you as you move forward. It's the perfect card. It's the perfect card. And so I'm going to end by just doing some third eye channeling, not direct voice channeling, about the sacred oath. And third eye channeling is when the guides speak to your third eye, rather than speak through the voice like you usually see me do. But my guides are saying no, because I'm integrating. And so they are saying that the sacred oath is simple. It is the only promise your soul makes to life, which is to live your truth as fully as possibly in every moment. Not even as possibly, to live your truth in its fullness in every moment. And every time you actually do live your full truth in every moment, you are in alignment with your soul, and anything and everything is possible because you're living soulfully. And your truth is the way of your fulfillment. And it is time to become warriors of truth. And that isn't about telling other people that they have to live your truth. Because the promise within that oath is you will allow all others to live their truth as fully as possible. It's about being so at peace with your truth that you don't bend it to please others or to protect others. That you simply are it. Not saying your truth is not living your truth. Saying your truth too early or too late is not living your truth. It's not living by the sacred oath. And if you are called to do a practice or a daily ritual in October, then begin with the meditation where you let the earth charge you and then cascade peace through you. And say out loud, I remember my sacred oath. Choose to live by this oath today. And know that there will be times that you don't because all humans are in the habit of lying and denying. But by inviting yourself to remember the oath, you will begin to rehabit yourself. And as you rehabit yourself out of lying and ignoring and denying and all of those things we do, you will become more and more of your truth. And really, truth is all that the warrior needs. And so just allowing yourself this moment to resonate and see if this daily ritual is right for you. And know that if it is, the stormy, fiery energies, great sighing out of these energies in October will release for you that which is not. Your life that is soul fulfilled, that is true for you, that is sovereign. And feeling the violet flame coming through you, transmuting all energy that does not serve or belong into love and light if it is ready to be transmuted. Feeling a golden rain shower of light pouring down, taking any energy that is going to go to the earth. And a big beam of source light coming in, taking any energy that is going to go somewhere else, wherever it is in the highest good for it to go. Sending your love and your gratitude to Mother Earth, to all plants, all minerals, all animals, all of humankind, to fire, to earth, to air, to water, to love, to light, to matter and to mystery, to source, all of our guides and all of our tribe, and to each other. To all of the sacred planets and sacred maps, and to all of inner sense, and to all of ourselves, and breathing in love and breathing out gratitude. And when you are ready, opening your eyes and coming into the room. And I got a yes for the iron and gold in October. If you've been doing that since August, October's the last month to do it. Well, if it feels good for you, you can continue it actually, but October is kind of the last kind of crucial month to do it, if that makes sense. And so you can do it as part of the ritual. And if it's not resonating, you know, all of this stuff is guidance and guidelines, so you don't have to do anything if it doesn't resonate, of course. Magic Month will be back. I actually did full time. It will be back next month. and hopefully I will be less integratory than I am today. But sending you all so much love. Have an amazing, amazing October, and I hope to be in circle with you all. I'm going to put the channeling course up again so you can get that link if you want to. So much love. Mwah.